Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving into the world of the 1985 D Lincoln penny. Yes, that small, copper coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune. So, why is the 1985 D penny so special? First, let's talk a bit about its history. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. In 1985, millions of these pennies were minted, making it seem like an ordinary coin, right? But here's the exciting part. Not every 1985 D penny is just another coin. Some of these pennies have rare errors or unusual features that make them highly sought after by collectors. These errors could include things like double dies, off-center strikes, or misalignments in the minting process. Let's break down some of the rare errors you should be keeping an eye out for. One of the most famous types of errors is the double die. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with a slight shift, creating a doubling effect on the text or image. These pennies, especially if in pristine condition, can be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. Of course, the condition of the penny matters a lot too. Collectors are willing to pay big bucks for pennies that are in mint state condition, meaning they're basically untouched and free of any wear. If your 1985 D penny is in top condition, you might just be holding on to a gold mine. Still not convinced? Let me give you some real-life examples. In recent years, error coins from the 1980s, including the 1985 D penny, have sold at auction for hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. That's right, people are willing to pay a fortune for these rare finds. Now, how can you check if your 1985 D penny is one of these rare gems? It's simple. Grab a magnifying glass and closely inspect the coin. Look for any unusual features, like doubling on the date or mint mark, misalignments, or other noticeable flaws. If you find something odd, it's time to get your penny professionally graded. So, next time you come across a 1985 D Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. It could be worth far more than 1 cent. Who knows? You could be holding on to $1 million coin. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos about valuable coins. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! We're talking about a 1992 D Lincoln penny that could be worth millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. A small penny that could change your life forever. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's jump into it. Before we get into why the 1992 D Lincoln penny is so valuable, let's first cover some basics about the coin. The D on the penny stands for the Denver Mint, where this penny was produced. In 1992, millions of Lincoln pennies were minted, and most of them are worth just face value. However, there's a rare variety that has caught the attention of collectors and investors alike, and it's that rare version that could make you rich. So, what makes the 1992 D Lincoln penny potentially worth millions? It all comes down to a rare error that occurred during the minting process. This specific penny is known as the closed AM variety. In most 1992 pennies, the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin are spaced apart. But in the rare closed AM variety, those letters are nearly touching. Now, this might sound like a small difference, but in the world of coin collecting, this tiny detail is what could make this penny worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Alright, Here's how you can check your 1992 D Lincoln pennies to see if you have the close AM variety. Flip the penny over and focus on the reverse side where it says United States of America. Now, look closely at the letters A and M in America. In most pennies, these letters are spaced apart. But if you have the close AM variety, the A and M will be almost touching, with barely any space between them. You can also check with a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if you want to be extra sure. Trust me, finding this error could be the difference between a penny and a massive payday. Now, you might be wondering, why is this small error worth so much? In the world of coin collecting, error coins are incredibly sought after because they are rare and unique. Mint errors like the close AM on the 1992 D penny happen very rarely, which makes them highly collectible. Collectors are always on the hunt for these rarities, and when demand is high, the value skyrockets. For example, one of these 1992 D close AM pennies sold for over $25,000 at auction, and experts believe that if you find one in pristine condition, it could be worth well over $100,000 or more. And who knows? If the right collector comes along, the value could even hit $1 million. So, let's say you've struck gold, or rather, copper, and found a 1992 D close AM penny in your collection. What's the next step? First, you want to preserve the coin as best as possible. Avoid touching it with your fingers as oils can damage the surface. Instead, use gloves and place the coin in a protective case or coin flip. Next, you'll want to have your coin authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A high grade can significantly increase the value of your penny. Once your coin is graded, you can list it at auction or sell it to a dealer. But here's the thing. Make sure you do your research and find a reputable auction house or coin dealer to ensure you get the best price. While you're checking your change for a 1992 D close AM penny, don't forget that there are plenty of other valuable pennies and coins out there. For instance, the 1992 Philadelphia minted close AM penny is also highly sought after. And error coins from other years such. We've got an exciting topic that could literally change your life, especially if you've been paying attention to the pennies in your pocket. We're diving into the world of the 2020 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that some people believe could be worth a fortune. Are you sitting on a gold mine and don't even know it? Stick around to find out how a humble penny could fetch you millions. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, and while most of them are worth only a single cent, certain years, mint marks, and rare errors can make these coins incredibly valuable. Today, we're focusing on the 2020 Lincoln penny minted in Denver, which carries the D Mint mark. This penny is fascinating for a number of reasons, and we'll go over what to look for that could make your 2020 D penny worth way more than its face value. First, let's talk a little bit about the Lincoln penny. Originally introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin has been a favorite of collectors for decades. The Denver Mint, which is where our 2020 penny comes from, has produced countless Lincoln pennies over the years. So why is the 2020 D Lincoln penny so special? Well, the 2020 D penny doesn't have any specific, unique design elements compared to other years, but collectors are always on the lookout for error coins or rare varieties that can increase a coin's value exponentially. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. the types of errors or specific markings that could make this penny worth a small fortune. So, what should you be looking for in a 2020 Lincoln penny? While many of these coins are just your average penny, a few of them contain mint errors that make them rare and highly collectible. Here are a few key things to keep an eye out for. The most sought-after error is the doubled die. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin gets misaligned, creating a doubling effect on certain parts of the design. In 2020 pennies, you should check the lettering, such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and 2020 for any signs of doubling. If your penny shows this error, its value can skyrocket. Another common mint error that could make your 2020 penny worth big money is an off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin is not properly aligned with the press during minting, causing the design to be off-center. Off-center strikes vary in value depending on how far off the strike is, but the more misaligned it is, the more valuable the coin can be. Look closely for any cracks or raised areas on the coin that shouldn't be there. These are known as die cracks or cuds, and they occur when the die used to strike the coin develops a crack or a broken piece. If you find a 2020 penny with this type of error, it could fetch you a nice premium. Even if your 2020 penny doesn't have any obvious errors, it could still be worth much more than face value if it's in pristine condition. Coins that have a high grade, meaning they've been very well preserved with minimal wear and tear, can be sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, if your penny looks nearly perfect, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Now, let's talk about the potential value of these coins. A standard 2020 penny without any errors is worth just a cent, as you'd expect. However, if you've got one with a rare error, such as a doubled die or an off-center strike, the value can increase dramatically. In the past, pennies with significant minting errors have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. And here's where things get really exciting. In rare instances, some Lincoln pennies have sold for well over $1 million. Of course, these were usually older, rarer coins. But who's to say a 2020 Lincoln penny with a significant error or in perfect condition couldn't one day fetch that kind of price? The world of coin collecting is unpredictable, and coins are only worth what someone is willing to pay. We're diving into a hidden gem you might have sitting in your pocket change, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, some of these pennies could be worth millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. If you want to know how to find these valuable coins and what makes them worth a fortune, stick around until the end of this video. You won't want to miss this one. First, let's get into the history of the 1988 Lincoln penny. This coin was part of the ongoing Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1988, these pennies were primarily made of zinc, with only a thin copper coating. What sets the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny apart? A penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While millions of these coins were produced in 1988, only a rare few possess certain characteristics that make them highly valuable. One of the main factors that makes certain 1988 pennies so valuable is the presence of rare minting errors. For example, there is a highly sought-after transitional error on 1988 pennies where the reverse die, that's the side with the Lincoln Memorial, was mistakenly carried over from the previous year's design. This error is known as the 1988 wide AM reverse variety. The 1989 reverse die was different in that the spacing between the letters A and M in America was wider than usual. If you happen to come across this error in a 1988 penny, you could be holding a coin worth a significant amount of money. Just like any other valuable coin, the condition of the 1988 Lincoln penny plays a massive role in its value. Coins that are in mint state condition or graded MS-65 or higher are the ones that can sell for top dollar. A penny that's been circulated and shows significant wear might still be worth more than face value, but the pristine ones are where the real money is. As collectors and numismatists continue to seek out rare varieties and high-grade coins, the value of the 1988 penny keeps increasing. There are only so many wide AM varieties or high-grade 1988 pennies left, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks to add one to their collection. Now, let's talk about how you can identify these valuable 1988 pennies. There are a few things you need to look for. The first thing is to make sure your penny has no mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. If there's a DE mint mark, that means it was minted in Denver, and this video won't apply to that coin. Next, you want to carefully inspect the reverse side of the coin, where the Lincoln Memorial is. Look at the letters A and M in America. If the spacing between them is noticeably wider than usual, you could have the rare wide AM variety. Be sure to use a magnifying glass or microscope to get a closer look. Examine the overall condition of your coin. Coins that are shiny, have little to no scratches, and have a strong luster are worth much more than those that are worn out. If your coin looks to be in excellent condition, consider getting it professionally graded. You might be wondering, have any of these coins sold for big money? The answer is yes. For example, in recent years, a 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with the wide AM variety in near-perfect condition sold at auction for over $10,000. That's right, one penny sold for the price of a car. And that's just the beginning. The highest graded coins could fetch even more, with experts estimating that a perfect MS-67 or higher 1988 wide AM penny could sell for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, especially as demand continues to grow in the coin collecting world. So, you've searched through your change and you think you've found a rare 1988 penny. What do you do next? First, make sure it's authentic. You can either take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC. Could you imagine finding a penny worth $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. There's a 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny floating around out there that collectors are willing to pay big bucks for, and in today's video, we're going to dive into everything you need to know about these potentially life-changing coins. Let's start with a bit of background. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Since then, billions of these pennies have been minted, and they've become a staple in our everyday pocket change. But what makes the 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? First, you need to know that a no-mint mark coin means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't stamp its coins with a letter. And while most of these pennies are only worth their face value, certain ones stand out and can be worth a fortune. Now you may be wondering, why would anyone pay $1 million for a penny? Well, it all comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and errors. Let's break that down. Some of the 2000 Lincoln pennies might have been struck with rare errors or varieties during the minting process, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. These errors can include things like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks that set them apart from ordinary coins. In addition to mint errors, the condition of the coin plays a huge role. Collectors seek out pennies that are in pristine, uncirculated condition. This means the coin should have minimal wear and tear, sharp details, and no visible damage. Alright, so what should you be looking for in your 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny? First, check for any obvious signs of minting errors, like doubling on the date or letters, or an off-center strike. Even subtle variations can drastically increase the coin's value. Another important thing to look for is the condition. If your coin still has its original shine and luster, without any major scratches or wear, it could be worth getting appraised. The better the condition, the higher the value. Believe it or not, some Lincoln pennies have already made headlines for selling at jaw-dropping prices. For instance, some era pennies from other years have sold for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars at auctions. While there hasn't been a recorded sale of a 2000 no mint mark penny reaching $1 million just yet, collectors are always on the hunt for the next rare find. If you have one with unique features, it could potentially reach that $1 million mark in the future. Now that you know what to look for, the next step is getting your penny appraised. If you think you've found a rare or valuable 2000 no mint mark penny, you should consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. We're talking about the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny, which could be worth as much as $1.2 million. Yes, you've heard that right, a penny worth $1.2 million. Could you be sitting on a treasure without even knowing it? Let's dive in and find out what makes this penny so valuable, and how you can tell if you have one of these rare finds. First, let's talk about the 2003 Lincoln penny. This coin is part of the famous Lincoln cent series, which has been minted since 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The 2003 penny carries the same iconic design as others in the series, with Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, if you're wondering, what does no mint mark mean? Here's a quick lesson. A mint mark is a small letter on the coin that shows where it was produced. For example, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. But if a coin doesn't have any mint mark, it was most likely minted in Philadelphia. However, it's the absence of a mint mark that makes some of these pennies special. Now, here's the $1 million question, literally. What makes this 2003 no mint mark penny worth $1.2 million? It all boils down to three key factors: rarity, condition, and errors. First, rarity. Even though billions of pennies were produced in 2003, certain rare coins were struck with errors or unique characteristics that can make them extremely valuable. Some of these rare coins were either struck on the wrong planchets, meaning they were accidentally minted on metal discs meant for different coins, or had errors in their design. Next is condition. Collectors prize coins that are in pristine condition. If your 2003 penny looks like it was minted yesterday, with no scratches, smudges, or wear, it could be worth a significant amount. Coins in mint state, MS, or higher on the Sheldon scale, which grades coins from 1 to 70, are the ones collectors are after. The closer your penny is to MS 70, the higher its value. But what really sends the value of a coin skyrocketing are errors. These can range from double dies, where the design is struck twice, to off-center strikes or even coins minted on the wrong type of metal. Some 2003 no-mint mark pennies have been found with these types of errors, making them extremely rare. And when a penny with a unique error hits the auction block, collectors are willing to pay top dollar, in some cases, up to $1.2 million. Okay, now that we've covered what makes this penny so valuable, how do you know if you have one? Here are the steps you need to follow. Take out your 2003 penny and examine it closely. If there's no mint mark under the date, you're already on the right track. Remember, no mint mark usually indicates it was produced in Philadelphia. Look at the condition of the coin. Is it shiny, without any noticeable scratches or blemishes? If it looks almost brand new, you could have a high-grade penny. However, if it's heavily worn, its value may drop significantly. Now, for the fun part, checking for errors. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom feature to inspect the coin closely. Look for things like doubling in the design, off-center strikes, or any oddities with the metal. Any of these could make your coin extremely valuable. You might be wondering, has anyone actually sold one of these pennies for $1.2 million? While rare, it's not unheard of. In fact, several pennies from the 2000s have fetched massive prices at auctions due to their errors and unique characteristics. In one notable sale, a collector paid over $1 million for a penny with a dramatic error that was in near-perfect condition. These types of high-value sales are usually facilitated through auction houses that specialize in rare coins, like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers Galleries. So, if you find a valuable 2003 penny, your best bet is to get it graded by a professional and then take it to auction. We're diving deep into one of the most sought-after coins in the Lincoln series, the 1952 Sweet Lincoln penny. Some of these coins have been rumored to be worth up to $1.8 million. That's right, a single penny could change your life forever. But what makes this coin so valuable? Stick around as we unravel the mystery behind the 1952 Sweet penny. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. This iconic design was in circulation until 1958, making every wheat penny a piece of American history. But the 1952 penny is particularly interesting for collectors. Insert vintage footage or images of the San Francisco Mint and old coins. In 1952, the San Francisco Mint produced 137.8 million of these pennies. While this may sound like a large number, the scarcity of coins in mint state condition has caused their value to skyrocket. But it's not just about the quantity, it's the quality and a few special errors that make this coin worth a fortune. So, what is it that makes this penny so valuable? Well, there are several key factors at play here. Cut to close-up shots of various pennies in excellent condition. First, we have condition. A 1952 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch thousands of dollars. Collectors look for high-grade coins that have never been in circulation, which is why pennies that have been kept in mint condition can be worth a lot. In fact, a 1952 penny graded MS-67 by professional coin graders has sold for more than $9,000. And if you manage to find an MS-68, well, you might be sitting on a treasure. Mage of a high-grade coin followed by a less-than-perfect one. But condition is not the only factor. The next big reason? Errors and rare varieties. Certain 1952 pennies feature minting errors, such as doubled dies or off-center strikes. These rare mistakes can significantly increase a coin's value. Asterisk display examples of mint errors like doubled dies or repunched mint marks. And here's where it gets exciting. Some of the rarest error coins from this year are rumored to have fetched up to $1.80 million at auction. These rare gems are considered the holy grail of Lincoln pennies. Can you imagine finding one of these in your collection? So, how do you know if the 1952 sweet penny in your collection is one of the rare, valuable ones? Let's break it down. Switch to a step-by-step guide with images of a 1952 penny under a magnifying glass. You'll notice a small S underneath the date, signifying that it was minted in San Francisco. Make sure the mint mark is clear and ideally not repunched. Look for errors. This is where things get interesting. Take a close look at the penny under a magnifying glass or microscope. Check for signs of a doubled die on the obverse side, especially around Lincoln's eyes, mouth, or the date. A doubled die is an error that occurs when the coin's design is stamped twice, slightly off-aligned, creating a shadow effect. These types of coins are extremely valuable. Step 3. Grade your penny's condition. If your penny has little to no wear, no scratches, and retains its original luster, it could be worth sending to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade penny could turn out to be worth much more than you expect. Now, let's take a look at some of the most jaw-dropping sales of 1952 pennies. Display auction footage or stills of auction houses. In recent years, we've seen some truly astonishing prices for this coin. One of the most famous sales occurred when a 1952 wheat penny in near-perfect MS-68 condition sold for over $19,000. And some error coins, particularly the rarest varieties, have been estimated to sell for anywhere between $1.20 to $1.80 million. Yes, that's the magic number we've all been waiting for. These incredible prices aren't common, but they serve as a reminder of just how valuable some of these coins can be. Could you be holding one of these hidden treasures in your own collection? Where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change and teach you how to spot those rare coins that could make you rich. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an update on the most valuable coins out there. Now, let's talk about the basics. The 1975 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and, at first glance, might seem like just another common coin. Millions of them were produced, after all. But as we've seen in the past, sometimes a seemingly ordinary penny can end up being incredibly valuable if it has the right characteristics. The 1975 penny is made primarily of copper, but what makes it stand out is not its composition, but the rarity of certain errors and variations that collectors are willing to pay huge sums for. That's right, this penny could be worth up to $1.9 million, but only if you find the right one. One of the key factors that determines the value of a coin is its condition, also known as the grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. For the 1975 penny, coins in near-perfect condition, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can command big bucks. But that's not the only thing that adds to its value. Some rare error varieties have been discovered in certain 1975 pennies, and these errors make them especially sought after by collectors. We're talking about minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and even missing mint marks that can drive the value through the roof. So what should you be looking for? One of the most valuable errors on the 1975 D Lincoln penny is the double die error, where the design appears doubled. This can affect the date, the mint mark, or even Lincoln's profile. If you spot doubling on any part of your penny, especially the date, you could be holding on to a very rare and valuable coin. Another error to keep an eye out for is an off-center strike, where the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during the minting process. These off-center errors can vary in degree, but the more off-center, the more valuable the coin. You're probably wondering, who's paying $1.9 million for a penny? Well, serious coin collectors are always on the hunt for these rare finds. Some have even fetched hundreds of thousands, or even millions at auction. In fact, just recently, a rare 1975 D Lincoln penny with a unique era sold for nearly $2 million. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins in exceptional condition, especially those that are rare due to errors or other unique characteristics. So, if you have a 1975 D penny, it's time to take a closer look at it. If you think you've got a rare 1975 D penny, the first thing you'll want to do is get it professionally graded and appraised. Trusted grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and give it a grade, which is essential if you're looking to sell it for top dollar. The grading process will help determine its condition and whether or not it has any of those valuable errors we talked about. And don't forget, before sending,